Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast. We're coming to you live from Cole Creative in downtown Wilkes-Barre. I'm Rich Howells. I'm the founder and editor of NEPA Scene.
I'm John Popko. I work for Time Shamrock Communications with Rock 107, Alt 92.1, and ESPN Radio. And I'm the Saturday night host of Alt Natives on Alt 92.1, where we feature an hour of local musicians. So if you guys have music you want to send me, please send it to altnatives@alt921.com.
Tonight we're here with local comedians Angelia Petrillo and Elliott Elliott. They're hosting the Back to the 80s comedy show and dance party this Saturday at the Keys in downtown Scranton. So we're going to talk about this unique throwback show, as well as their careers in comedy thus far, the underrated NEPA comedy scene, and much more. So please leave your questions and comments down below, and we'll get to those later in the show. But before we get to the interview, we have some beers from Beer Boys in Wilkes-Barre to drink. They have 72 beers on tap, including 24 from Pennsylvania breweries. Tonight we have 3 different beers from Bell's Brewery in Michigan. We have Quinannan Falls IPL, their standard porter, and Pooltime Ale. So which one do we want to pop open first?
Pooltime.
All right. That sounds good.
That intrigued me when I saw it on the list.
Yeah, Pooltime, actually, it sounded the most interesting. It's a Belgian-inspired wheat ale with light clove notes. So it's hipster. It has a tart cherries
Fucking
grown
hipsters.
in the Traverse City region of Michigan, and which should add a subtle tartness and bright counterpoint to the other flavors. Don't you love these descriptions they have? They're so in depth. I can't do that.
What?
They get that in depth about flavor profiles and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just it's good.
It's because we're not that smart.
You guys want to try this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
All
For
right.
sure.
I'm
Thank
good.
you.
I don't drink. I get bitchy. I'm also
Well, then more for
I
us.
did too, but
I'm intimidated by the size of those cans, by the way.
Yeah, these are crowlers. You can get them at Beer Boys, which is one of the only places around here.
I love Beer Boys.
that
I'm just
does
gonna
those.
say it. I
Yeah,
love
you-
Beer Boys.
well,
yeah.
I mean, there are a few times.
I
right
like
down
their
the
little
street
dollar.
there.
They have little like $1.50 glasses, like
Yes.
it's of a flight, so you can literally taste anything
Right.
on the menu.
Right.
It's amazing.
Well, when I was there tonight, they're doing it's like their glass and pizza night, and every week they have a different beer with a glass feature. They were doing some kind of cream soda
Mhm.
with a shot of Fireball.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was neat.
I'm a soda nerd, though, so I'm like, oh, what kind of cream soda?
Well, it's alcohol.
Oh,
It was
okay.
5.5. So we don't want you getting bitchy at Beer Boys. So
No.
Did you send this guy over here? Get him the hell out of here. This is good.
Why is he being so
I like it
catty?
too. I didn't think I was gonna like it from the description with the cloves at all. You can't taste
cloves,
it.
man. I started smoking cloves back in like 2002.
Oh God, I used to smoke cloves too. I
Yeah,
thought
you
it
can
was cool.
actually smell it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely in there. And the cherry it says it was very tart. I don't think it's as tart as the description gives.
so.
But it's there. I mean, it's subtle. I think it's good.
Yes. Make sure you
You know,
Swish it around.
Swish around and then spit it out. Speaking of beer critics, one of our dear friends, Derek Warren, is back on here. He was contributing to some other publication that I've never heard of at some point. And so he came back to NEPA Scene, and he's going to be doing weekly reviews on there. And they're not only in-depth in terms of him describing all the flavor profiles and everything, but he tells you what else you can pair it with in terms of food and where you can find it in the area. So look out for that. It's called Drink It Down. It'll be on Mondays. And he's also doing you'll like this, a cult movie column. So on Wednesdays, he's going to be featuring a weird or bizarre cult movie that you've never heard of before, and tells you whether or not it's worth tracking down or not. This week it's one called Madhouse, which is an Italian film from 1981. I thought at first he meant the Vincent Price movie.
Yeah.
That was what popped in my head. But this one is an Italian slasher film, and it sounds as bad as it does good.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I haven't either. I guess it was hard to track down, but they just re-released it on Blu-ray.
okay.
Is it in English?
I think there's an overdub try. A lot of the Italian movies, they would do these really bad English overdubs.
I know.
So I'm sure it's one of those kind
Yeah.
of movies where nothing's gonna fit with the.
Like Godzilla.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of like European movies, they're dubbed because not every actors speak in the same language. So all
That's
of them
true.
are dubbed. Even like the Italian language track would be dubbed.
Right.
Oh.
And sometimes they even dub over people. It seems like they are speaking English, and
Yeah.
they're still overdubbing them anyway. It's weird. But we also want to give a shout out to one of our other sponsors, the Keys, who we're actually promoting tonight anyway. But we'll give them a shout out anyway. This Thursday is their weekly open mic. On Saturday, they have a lot going on. From 4 to 9, there's the Halfway to Parade Day with the Greater Scranton Black Diamonds Pipe Band. So if you're missing St. Patrick's Day and you want another excuse to drink your face off, by all means, go there 4 to 9. And then when you're completely blasted, you can ruin this great comedy show that we're going to plug by being a belligerent drunk at the 80s comedy show and dance party that we're talking about tonight. The following weekend is the Electric City Music Conference, Friday and Saturday, which we're going to talk about in depth next week with the organizers. So that should be an interesting show. The FM Kirby Center is a sponsor on our site. They have Earth, Wind, and Fire Tribute on September 23rd, Stephen Stills and Judy Collins on September 27th, Matthew West on September 30th, and Fozzy on October 4th, which features Chris Jericho, of all people, in a rock band, which is pretty cool. And Loyalty Barbershop and Shave Parlor also came on as an advertiser with us for the next 2 months. So we want you to know they not only have locations in Scranton and Archibald, but they also just opened a store right down here on South Main Street in Wilkes-Barre. New barbershop down there. They're always booked back to back, so I'm sure Wilkes-Barre is going to be packed pretty soon. So if you're in the area and you need a haircut, be sure to get down there and check it out because it's the old Metro building, which is pretty cool. So they left some of the walls intact, and you can see some of the old graffiti and stuff there, and they have some of the old posters hanging up.
Yeah, if nothing else, just go there and hang out.
Yeah, seriously. Which they totally don't mind you doing.
No, man, that's the coolest part about barbershops is like you can just go there and it's like a chill spot to hang out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I always thought that was like a thing in movies, but they actually made that thing a reality.
yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
But
It is.
girls aren't allowed, right?
Girls are allowed.
Oh, really?
They are, yes.
Just lesbians?
No,
Okay.
they have girl barbers.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
When I first started going there, the one in Scranton, it was just a male staff, and it's an opportunity for guys to hang out, shoot the shit, talk about tits, and hang whatever.
Oh,
Right.
That sounds fun.
It's awesome. No, I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but then they started having a female barber, and it's like, is this gonna be weird if we're talking about like dude stuff? And like, no, don't worry about it. So it's cool.
I'm pretty sure back when we were at some other publication that I don't remember the name of, I'm pretty sure we were the first ones to ever write about
We were.
Loyalty Barbershop and to feature them in any big way.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fun. It was a cool cover story that we did back when they had they've been established in Archibald for a little while, but hadn't yet expanded to Scranton and Wilkes-Barre and everything, and blew up the way that they did.
I think I actually presented them an award at one point.
Yes.
If not 2 or 3, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, not we, but
Yes. But yeah, you personally giving out
the
awards
royal
to
we.
people.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our main topic tonight, local comedy. So, why comedy? What was it that drew you to stand-up comedy in general?
Honestly, it was kind of like a weird thing in high school. I did like the plays and they were okay, and then I got into speech and debate from there, and then I really liked that, and then I really liked the comedy aspect, and I would want to like be in plays outside of school, and the only way I wasn't good, but I was funny. So I would take funny things and I would go and I would sing songs with different voices or something like that, and they'd put me in. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
one time I did stand up for like something in high school at the end of the year or something, and I did well, and from there Clam Diggers opened down in like
Yep.
Dixon City, and I did stand up there for a little bit, but there's this guy, half and half. He's like a comedian from like the Philly area.
I've interviewed him a couple times.
I guess like
really nice guy. Really
he's
funny
cool. I guess like the MC for one of his shows like dropped out, and they asked me to do it, and I had never done that before, and I went and I bombed completely, so I stopped doing. I stopped completely. I like never went back and did anything until a friend of mine kind of like forced me into doing girls' night with Jess Meone like 6 years later. That was like two years ago, and then here I am, and I love it. A lot. So it's the only thing that makes me feel normal, even though like I'm not normal at all.
How do you do it though? Because you were nervous that there's 2 cameras here.
God, I don't even want to look at me like Jesus.
But you could do it in front of like a crowd of however many
That's
people.
different because they're paying attention to what I say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure, the cameras are paying attention.
Now they are, but before they were like, "What is that girl doing? She touching her boob? Why is she sending her hand in between her crotch?"
So you fit in at Loyalty Barbershop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go talk about tits.
Didn't talk.
An ass.
I was breastfed until I was 3, so it's a subject I'm really skilled
Familiar
on.
with.
You're very very well versed.
Yeah.
in that area.
Let me tell you, I know about tits.
Moves her way around the boobs.
What about you, Elliot?
Well, I was involved in punk rock around here for years, but I am absolutely musically talentless. Like, but I would do like these weird experimental things sometimes. Like once I played Hey Ya through a computer with a bunch of effects filters and argued with it. Or I would like I'd get a drum machine and just play it and pass out like dollar store instruments and make everybody else play for me. And then like, I did that for a while, and in retrospect I guess I was doing comedy, but I didn't even think of it as that. And then
Right.
one day I was at my house and the power went out, and I was like, I'm not going to sit around here in the dark and wait to get eaten. So I drove down to Donahue's on South Main Street, and there was an open mic there that night. My friend Greg was hosting, and he was like, look, Elliot, you have to get up there and talk about something. We don't have enough performers. And so I did, and I did actually pretty well my first time, and then I've been doing it pretty much since then with occasional breaks. But
Now, is there anybody like in the area that you picked anything up from, or that you work with regularly?
There's a few people that I think we both work with regularly, and I pick things up from everyone. Everyone has something different. I know that's so generic to say. I wish though, like, I was criticized more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't have anyone to criticize me other than my like girlfriend who sees me all the time, and she's just sick of my jokes. So I'm like, you don't even count anymore.
Yeah, she can't objectively tell you what's funny anymore at that point.
I mean, yeah, I work with all sorts of people, and you take stuff from people. You learn a lot by watching people fail. Like,
Yeah. You
like,
learn a lot by failing.
Yeah, you do.
I love
I'm
when
sure
I bomb.
I've
but I hate
educated a ton of people, I'm sure.
it. Yeah, same. And myself. Still educating.
Yeah.
What's one of the off the top of your head, one of the worst shows that you ever did? Like one of the ones that you bombed, or the show just didn't go well.
Oh God!
Because those stories are always great. 'Cause we have them with bands all the time. I think with comedy, it's a whole different thing.
All right. Well, one time, this is a couple months ago, Ted Hebert, winner of season 2, 3, I don't know, winner of NEPA's Got Talent, booked us this show at Wellington's in Clark Summit, and there were 6 of us. Elliott was there, and we walk in, and already, like, sometimes where you're at or walking into a place will already set the vibes. Like, you walk in, there's, like, a bartender and 2 people at the bar, and they look angry, like they're pissed. And then they don't even put us in the bar, they, like, put us in, like, this side room. So, like, my girlfriend won't even come in. She's, like, eating a steak at the bar with the other lady. And, like, so we're just in the room watching each other, and we stand up, and, like, I had happened to, like, come across, like, I had eaten something that maybe had something in it. So I was like, maybe it was a brownie. So I was feeling all types of weird, and I stood up there and I think I stared at the other comedians for about 4 minutes and rambled off weird jokes that I like half wrote and like thought were funny but never finished. Dropped my note cards everywhere. But then at the end of the night, Ted ended up, we like got paid the most I ever got paid for a comedy show. Like, I don't even know how that happened. And no one watched us. And then the next day they went out of business. So,
Sinking the ship.
but they did put comedy on the billboard, which was kind of cool. And that was it.
She thinks she got paid.
It might not have happened. I don't know.
Got paid.
We did.
We sunk their ship.
Yeah, that was the last of Wellingtons. And the steak they sold, the $40 steak they sold for $9.99 too.
But that's local comedy is what put them under. That was it.
Probably. That's probably what they blame. Every night.
What about you? Was there is there one
man.
that stands out?
Let's see. Once I did the Luzerne Fall Festival. And performing outside is always a crapshoot and usually bad. But this was exceptionally bad. They had us performing on a sidewalk. Across an active road to people sitting on a sidewalk on the other side of the street.
How is that even possible? Whose idea was that?
I'm just the talent. I don't know. I just show up and talk into a microphone. And then recently I had a show in Towanda. Have you ever been to Towanda?
Yeah.
That's an
I've
adventure.
been through it. I don't think I've ever actually been in it.
There's a phone booth. A working phone booth.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyway, it
One
was
of the few.
in this place that was supposed to be a pirate bar. I got in there. The closest they got to piracy is there were like stuffed fish on the wall. And there's nobody there except like a few weird people at the bar. And then there's almost a bar fight, which is awesome. I love when shit goes bad. And then like that happens. And then there's another comedian performing. And this dude stands up. And the other comedian, it was Eric, didn't address the audience. This dude stands up and starts trying to fight him. Like, you want a shot at the title? The dude kept yelling, you want a shot at the title? Eric's just like, what? And then the show goes on, and then it's over. And they tell us at the end, yeah, sorry no one was here. It's the weekend of the snake hunt.
Is this Towanda?
Yeah. Apparently they have a snake hunt.
And not only that, but it's incredibly popular.
Yeah. Apparently every citizen of Towanda went to the snake hunt. I don't know.
My sister-in-law lives in Towanda.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask her about that.
Yeah.
do it.
Maybe they just made that up. Maybe they assumed it was believable.
That's true. I mean, nobody's going to question that.
Yeah,
They're
like-
like, no, there's no snake hunt.
Yeah, like after being there for like a half hour, it's like, yeah, it seems like a snake hunt kind of town.
All right, so what about the best shows? I'm sure you guys have had some really good ones that went over very well, or maybe some fan reaction, somebody that laughed really hard or really liked what you did, that kind of thing.
No.
No,
One time-
I've never had a successful
One time I was in a
show.
beer store and some girl was like, hey, they're like, I know you. They're like, Pearl, the Pearl. They're like, the Pearl of my pussy. So I'm allowed to say that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
And
curse,
they're like,
you're
she's
fine.
like, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, she's like, I saw you. I'm like, she remembered what I was saying. And like, she left and I was like, shit, I should have got her like on recording, like remembering myself. And then I had to ask the store like clerk, I was like, did you see that? He's like, no, I was watching TV. So that was like probably the coolest thing.
So
Was
your one moment to really shine there,
Yeah.
and nobody will.
I could have imagined that one too. I mean, who knows?
Oh, man, this one's tough. Like, the thing is, I don't remember when it goes well usually. I remember
Right.
when it goes poorly.
Right.
As long as it
Yeah.
goes poorly in an awesome way.
I always think it goes well, but then like I'll watch a recording and I'll be like, oh no, that wasn't what I thought it was.
Right.
Well, watching recordings is tricky because the camera is pointed at you, so you're projecting the sound at it. The laughter is coming towards you, so it's not necessarily going into your camera's microphone.
Yeah.
So you can't always
Right.
trust the laughter level on it.
Yeah, but even without the laughter level, like just watching myself, I'm still just like,
You're still going to pick apart everything you do,
Obviously,
though. That's the
yeah.
nature of the beast. You just have to find something that's good enough
Yeah.
and be happy with it.
Right. Especially, you know the material in your head, so you want it to come out a certain
Exactly.
way, and it's never going to, I mean, it's the same with writing. You know, sometimes I write something and think, oh, that should have been better. It sounded better in my head.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Exactly.
come out the way that you want it to. So, how about the importance of open mics to comedy? I think that's something that a lot of people don't seem to. I think they see comedians on television or on a show or whatever, and they think these people are naturally funny and that they just all these jokes just come rattling off. But it's something that it takes time to develop and stuff like that. So, how have open mics helped you in terms of developing your material and getting it out there?
I need open mics, and I feel like I don't get to them half as often as I wish I would. And I feel like any comedian that you see that is remotely successful will say that, like, you need to go to an open mic, like, every day. There are people that go to multiple ones a day, multiple times a week, 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could afford to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe a miracle will happen, but I mean, yeah, open mics, and it's important to do bad at open mics too. Do you know what I mean? To kind of like correct yourselves. Like, my favorite is when I go to an open mic and I do bad. It's kind of like a swift kick in the ass to just, kind of get your crap together, rewrite some stuff. It takes a lot of work. You don't just come out with, you can come out with jokes, but oftentimes if I say them the way I come out with them, it doesn't work right, and I have to, for me, and I have to manipulate it, and watch where my words go and how I position it and stuff like that.
I mean, it's different than it is for a musician. Like, we have to practice in front of people. You can't if you're practicing
Right.
at home, you're just a weirdo talking to your mirror and you're not getting nothing out of it. But we have to practice in front of people. You need some instant feedback. Like, you need to get that. And really you can't learn much about stand-up without doing it.
Right.
Like, I can't, like, if somebody asked me how to do it, I couldn't explain how unless they'd been up a few times.
So is that, how do you know when a joke is funny or that it works, depending on the reaction that you get?
Yeah, the feedback.
Yeah, not always the reaction. I've had jokes that I trashed because they sucked at a couple of mics, and I had a feeling about and brought them back with perhaps women, an audience full of half women, and they were fine. And I'm not just saying, and I'm not, it's true.
No, that's
I'm not
true.
trying to say it, but it's true. And, but, yeah, I mean, so there's times where people won't laugh, and you can still use something, I feel like, but yeah, it's, people are laughing.
Well, yeah, every room isn't going to get you. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the way it works. Like,
Not
Right.
at all. And you have to, I think that takes half of it. Like, I don't even know who I am as a comedian yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so new and still trying to find exactly, like, which wave I want to ride.
Right. Well, how long you been doing it now?
About, together, 2 years, a little over 2 years.
Okay. You've been doing it a little bit longer, I think, right?
jeez. I started in 2007. I'd say there's probably about maybe 3 or 4 years of breaks in there, but
Right.
for the most part.
Okay. So yeah, that's a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Now, you also do characters too?
Yeah, I do.
Which I think is fun. Now, how do you choose or develop a character?
I'll usually find, it's like something comes to me. I'm like one of those people who, like, I get ideas. Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like, I try and, like, sit down and come up with stuff. And I do that, and I'll just write down every dumb thing that comes to my head. And maybe one out of, like, the 500 things I write will be useful. But characters, like, if you saw the commercial I did for the show this weekend, I did Maddie Jinx. And it was weird because that's 80s Maddie Jinx versus current day Maddie Jinx. Maddie Jinx is kind of based on Paul Stanley stage banter.
Okay.
But I got the idea, like, what if Kiss wasn't as successful, like, and they were sexy toys, and now he's trying to stage his comeback, but he's writing age-appropriate songs, like about the lawnmower, or trimming the hedges, or people staying away from a 17-year-old daughter. So, like, that's just how characters develop, and I usually tend to know more about them than I need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could tell you how many Maddie Jinx has a daughter who's 17 and a son who's 10. Like, I don't know. I like making up characters and putting them in situations.
It seems like, too, having seen you do a couple different characters, that you have an idea of what you're going to say going in, but there's also some improvisation there as well.
Yeah, there is. Like, I don't overwrite my character bits. Like, I just kind of get to know the character.
Right.
And I mean, sometimes they're inspired by something as simple as I bought a bag of sunglasses at the thrift store and got 4 characters out of it.
Now, you did a show at the Scranton Fringe that was all by yourself. I mean, you had a couple openers, but
Yeah.
you did a thing. How did you feel? Did you feel that you were ready to do that, or was it an
No.
experiment? Or
It was
you know, what,
kind of
how did you
like,
want to do that?
sorry, it was kind of like, I mean, I was a part of Big A Story Slam the first year of the Fringe, which was amazing.
Was great,
And and they had submissions open, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a show, and I'm gonna do all jokes that are like Scranton themed, and I'm like, I'm gonna try and put a theme to it, and I just submitted the idea, and they took me, and then I just I never put together anything before. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't know. So what it turned into is just like a half-hour stand-up special of my crap. But like, it went well. We sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
And people seemed to like it, and it was cool. I mean, it was an interesting experience for sure. I mean, I learned a lot from everything I do. I learn from, and I mean, I know that. I mean, the comedy trail is a lot longer than any other. A lot of professions. I feel like so.
Sure.
If you even have like the perspective to do something long term, and I don't know where I'm going, but if you even think of that, like, yeah, like I have a long. So I'm glad I messed it up, but we're gonna do the Fringe this year too. They condensed it, so if people want to see comedians or area comedians,
all the stand-ups are on one
yeah,
Oh,
they
they're on one
have
thing,
like a stand-up showcase at the Fringe. So the full lineup hasn't been announced yet, but yeah, so that'll be cool. You can see hopefully a lot of local comedians and regional. We'll see. I don't know. Come see it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm in it.
Well, we want to get to this show in particular, the 80s show that you guys are doing. Where did the idea from that develop?
Not yet. Hold on.
No?
No.
What do you want to get into?
Another beer.
Oh, another beer.
All right.
We only have like an hour. To
That's
get through
true.
Beer. Like,
That's
we,
cool.
We got,
Yeah,
we got a segment.
We gotta
I'm ready.
house this.
And they are in oil drums.
Yeah, that one's down. So what's next?
If it weren't for me, we'd be sober.
Thank God for you.
Thank Jesus.
I feel like it would be a bad idea to allow these into like sporting events, especially in Philadelphia.
no.
They could replace D batteries.
This would be a terrible, terrible thing for that.
Yeah, this would replace D batteries. Jesus. This is the porter.
That's a porter. Okay.
Tell me a story.
About the porter, let's see. It bridges the gap between malty brown ales and heavily roasted stouts. Notes of chocolate, coffee, and roasted barley are offset with just a slight hop bitterness. This is a 5.6, so it's pretty middle of the road for a porter. It's not too strong. Can you give this one a go?
Yeah.
Some people stray from the dark beers.
No, I like dark beer. I don't like ryes really, or just like plain ales, too. Thank you.
Thankfully, Brittany's not here.
That's right.
More beer for us.
More beer for us.
Thanks, Brittany, for celebrating your niece's birthday. Whatever, like that's
Yeah, like
real important for
family shit. Get out of here. Jesus
No
Christ.
Brittany and one non-drinker. You guys are in good shape tonight.
Good for us.
We do miss you, Brittany. Please come back next episode.
R.I.P.
Don't pour one out for her though. This is precious.
This is better than I thought it was gonna be.
That's what you said last time too.
I know.
These are just surprising you up and
Yeah,
down.
Just coming
they
in with
really
low
are. What brewery
expectations.
is this? It's from Michigan.
Yes, it's
Bell's.
Bell's.
Bells. Okay. Doesn't even sound hipster or anything.
I
Like,
have
who
not
would've
heard of
thought?
them before this.
Yeah.
I've never tried them before.
Doesn't Bell's have the banana? Is that
I
accurate?
hate that one. The banana bread.
Okay,
Sorry. No, that's Wells, isn't it?
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I've
They-
had the
they
banana
rhyme,
bread
yeah.
one before.
Yeah, I didn't
that's
like
Well,
it.
you're right.
I like that one. That was good.
Isn't there a cookie dough one too?
Is there?
I feel like I drank it.
I don't know if
I feel like it's like that Kugels that
Oh,
they do
yeah.
that chocolate stuff too. I feel like
Yeah, I
they
don't
did
know.
something like that maybe.
It's good.
You can definitely get that chocolate and coffee
Yeah.
taste in there.
All right, proceed with the.
The question. Well, do we have any? I haven't really checked the comments yet. Does anybody saying anything down in the comments? I don't know if Gerard saw any that he thought was particularly interesting. I mean, there's definitely a lot. We're at 54 comments so far. So I can only see so many of them because I have to have it open the whole time because Facebook sucks. Let's see. Freddie, who we've had on the podcast before, Freddie Fabry, said, I would like to know what they think of the cheating bunk socks.
All right, Freddie. Here, you know what? I didn't want to address this because you're fishing for your shit here. And I get that. You ever think it's just the media trying to get the rivalry from the Red Sox and the Yankees back on track? You ever think of that? It's what it is. It's all a scam. It's all bullshit.
Fake news.
Fake news.
It's all a distraction
No.
from what really is happening in the world.
That's right.
Yeah. Just trying to get you off of the
It's a
hurricanes.
conspiracy.
Yeah.
Obviously, the hurricane is fake. It's not real.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
That never happened. Hey, according to Rush Limbaugh, apparently all that stuff is just liberal
Yeah,
propaganda.
we're fine.
Yeah, everybody's good.
Yeah.
None of that stuff ever happened.
But as for Freddie, it's all it's all media hype.
I'm about to say something pretty awful. Trump just got his hands on the weather machine and was like, you're not giving me a wall, I'm making a moat.
With the weather machine from G.I. Joe,
Yeah.
when they have the weather dominator. That's
Yeah,
what
and
it
all
was
they did
called,
was make
yeah.
lightning strike in Washington, D.C. Cobra was the shittiest terrorist.
Right? Come on, Jesus Christ!
Also, I don't know anything about the cheating socks. I don't have time for sports.
Don't give him.
predetermined.
Don't feed into his bullshit.
Brian Walsh, who is a he's a laughing stock. Apparently, I didn't even finish that thought. What's a great comedy movie they can suggest?
A great comedy movie?
Yes. I don't know if anyone asked anything earlier. Maybe you can ask again because now I'm looking at it.
My favorite movie is The Sweetest Thing. I think it's a comedy. I think it's very well written.
Okay.
Even though it's a girl's, like, when I was a little kid, but I've always thought it was, like, well written. Short, with, like, a lot of jokes in it. Brian, go watch it with your daughter. Give her some milk.
Trying to think. I like a lot of them. The Jerk. But Brian's seen The
yeah.
Jerk. Like,
You had to have seen
yeah,
it.
Brian's seen The Jerk. I know Brian's seen The Jerk. If you haven't seen The Jerk, something's wrong and you need to fix it. Go watch The Jerk.
We're going to be talking about some 80s movies later on tonight. So we'll find out a lot more about their movie knowledge or lack thereof, if there is any. Let's see. Tom Sigurdsson says that your shoes are on point, Elliot.
Thank you. These are my beat-up docs, too. If I wore my fancy cherry red ones, the screen caps would be all over the internet by tomorrow.
Of course, the comedians always have good questions. Tommy Stone
Oh, no.
asks, who would Angelina go straight for, and who would Elliot go gay for?
Oh, man.
I would go straight for Jason Segel.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Oh, man, this
Funny
is-
guy.
This is
Yeah.
tough. This
But
is
he's
tough.
not, like, cute, but I don't care.
Right.
Who is that?
Plus, he has a big dick. But I feel like that would hurt me. Like, I feel like that's like I don't know. All right, I'm going too far.
You're overthinking. Jeez, I don't know. I really don't. Jeez, I have man crushes on lots of dudes.
It's so hard to narrow it down.
It really is. I don't know.
I mean, because if you're going to have that one opportunity,
Yeah.
you know, you can't waste it.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna take the one opportunity, why not go all the way? And
Sure, absolutely.
just everyone that I've ever thought about in that way.
So Elliott's answer is a train. Delivery train.
Basically, if I'm going all the way. I'm not gonna half-ass this switching teams thing.
No pun intended.
Wait, I want a train. I take it back.
Can I pick like an era? Can they be dead now? I don't know. Like, this is entirely too much thought on this question.
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Maybe Tommy Stone. See if he likes that answer. Him and his weird Jersey Shore otter look that he has.
What does that look like?
That's my point.
It looks like Tommy Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I learned recently that an otter is like a skinny, hairy gay man, right? Is that the...
Really? I don't know the gay men lingo.
Like, that's what I was told.
I don't even
and-
know the lesbian lingo. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm on the DL. Like, if you see a Scranton lesbian, they don't know who I am. I'm lesbian, guys.
Tommy himself informed me that he's an otter, so...
An otter.
Because we were referring to
I don't
him
know.
as a twink for a long time.
Whoa.
There's
Now,
a cornflake.
I've heard bear.
It's
I know
2017. You can't say
but-
that.
No,
I've
twink
never
is
heard
a
otter.
legit gay
Yeah,
term
twink.
for
That's okay?
for skinny. Yeah, for skinny.
I don't know if it's
like
okay.
not
In-
very
I
hairy
feel like
gay
nothing's
men.
okay right these
Nothing's
days,
okay.
except
Right.
for
Some
Zay.
somebody's gonna get offended.
Z and Zay.
But like queer, for example.
Whoa,
Queer
whoa,
is a
buddy.
word that used to be bad.
Jesus.
Now it's good again. Now it's okay.
I don't want to be.
I know
queer.
you can
it
search
ever
twink
okay?
on a porn site, so
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know, as
You
long
get
as it's
Tommy
acceptable on porn sites, we're all good. We're all adults here.
if only everything on porn sites was acceptable.
Brian says, Elliot, who would you go straight for?
Tommy Stone.
And the real
Tommy
question
Stone.
is revealed.
Yes. Well, that's Brian's style. Everybody has a different style. Like he goes he goes for the crowd and
Yeah.
and gets people involved. How would you maybe describe your comedic style if you had to? You know, if you were trying to pitch it to somebody.
Okay, definitely not crowd work. I think that I'm tactless. Unfortunately, someone told me that I was uncouth and tactless once.
Yeah.
I thought it was an insult until I developed. Like 10 years later, I'm like, oh, I love that description of me. It's very on point. So I'm a little like demented, but I'm also like realistic. Like I just say things that just come in my head, but like I'm a nutcase. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the first time I saw you, I thought you were so funny because you just put it out there. You just said a lot of
I can't
stuff
help it. I
without-
can't do anything but put it out there. I don't know what else to do. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how to describe myself.
Because you go
it's
all over the
eclectic.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have some great nerd comedy, which
Yes.
guys like me appreciate. But there's other stuff that you do that's beyond that. You do some
Yeah.
relationship stuff. Stuff about dating apps and things like that.
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. But I mean, you go beyond that too.
I do
you
some
know?
storytelling too, like
Right. I think some of your stories are some of the best stuff that you do.
oh, thanks.
Let's
Maybe
see.
he'll go gay for you.
That's maybe. I mean, we're all having this conversation, so we might as well just.
It's
just
2017,
put it
man.
all
We're
there.
all on a spectrum.
True. Get what you can get.
Which spectrum is debatable, but
Autism.
Multiple spectrums. We're all on several spectrums. Some of us own the car, and we're in an extra spectrum.
So let's talk about the '80s show
Yes.
and where did that idea come from?
Honestly, this area has been like bustling with like random comedic, I don't want to call them plagues, groups. So
Plagues.
we like, I'm just kidding. So there's like so much stuff going on in the area, and what's happening is you see local comedy, and you just show up, and it's just no offense, because sometimes I'm included. They just throw a bunch of people on there, just rattling off whatever. Sometimes it's the same jokes every time. So you get someone to come out to one show, they're not going to come out to the next show. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I feel like we have. Listen, I've gone to like New York City and performed. I mean, it was a bringer show, but like I've been there and I've seen like people there, and I've gone to shows, and like we have just as much talent in Scranton as any other city or community or open mic place or any other creative comedic place has, and I feel like we need like something different to get the community interested in seeing us. So I thought, why not start doing like themed like shows, you know, involving the audience, getting local music involved as well. This show we have Katie Evans and Anthony Shiny Montini and Candy V playing music for like an hour before we start the show. And I just thought that this way we can get the audience involved. They'll never get bored. They're always going to see something different. With themes, we can challenge the comedians to do something different and write new jokes if they want to. Some people don't think it's a good idea. You know what I mean? Like some people think it's dumb. But, you know, we could have a fan base in Scranton. Okay, we could have these people coming out to these theme shows, what I think, and saying, oh, you know, I really love Elliott. He always is a character, and he's my favorite. I'm going to follow him. When he goes does his regular stand-up, I'm going to go see him. Or I'm going to watch his... You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the potential to gain that in our community and to get people involved and to see that there's not just a local music scene here. There's a local comedy scene as well. And I feel like... And I mean, like, the 80s music is the best. So It's like a great starting point, I feel like. But yeah, that's kind of was my idea. So I'm hoping to do more. We've talked about... I got Elliott because like Elliott is like 80s king, and also Idea King, his
Also,
costumes and his sketches, and I feel like he would be like the best.
So kind of played
person.
into his strengths a little bit.
Exactly.
Also, not to date myself, I'm one of the only people on the show who lived through the 80s.
Yeah, but even without that, even just talking about the 80s show, we've already come up with ideas for like other shows. So
right.
Yeah, I mean like. We'll see.
So the idea here, for those who didn't know or haven't heard us talk about, we talked about on a couple of the previous podcasts. But the idea is that the jokes can't go beyond the 80s.
Correct.
So you're pretending that essentially it is the 80s.
Correct. We are in the 80s.
Right.
So we're gonna get. The only thing I can find so far is like an air horn, which I feel like is gonna be too loud.
No.
I also found
No, not at all.
Everyone else wants the air horn. I also found like this little air horn that lets out weird because it's Halloween season.
Yeah.
Halloween screams that we can like do into a microphone. I don't know, but there's gonna be a buzzer, so we're gonna buzz people if they Google Donald Trump. I mean, Bill Cosby raping people. Anything like that is not relevant to.
Well, I think Bill Cosby raping people.
Oh, he did rape people in the 80s.
It
and
was
no one knew.
relevant.
Nobody talked
but
about
didn't
it.
know about.
Nobody said anything about it.
It was relevant in the 80s because he did
It was relevant.
Yeah.
So maybe Bill Cosby will. Never mind. No one's gonna get. I'm just kidding. No one's gonna get hurt.
Right.
Come to the show. It's
I
gonna be
mean,
awesome.
I like the idea of a loud air horn because I believe there should be punishment. Like I
don't want people to leave.
If I had my way, comedians would get hit with a paintball gun.
Well, I have personal friends who are very just like those people who like they will be like and like walk out, or I know people like that. So I always worry. Or maybe it's just that Catholic guilt. I'm like worried. Maybe I just bring the air horn out.
Air horn.
Right. Just take
I
care
don't
of
know.
it.
Punishment.
Yeah. If we open the door.
Like the
and do
Gong
it.
Show.
Oh yeah, I wish we had a gong. That would be awesome. Does anyone have a gong? Message me.
Let's get a cane and choke them out.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Or a MMA trained
But
person.
I might get like too into that, where like I black out and I don't remember what happened until afterwards.
Just sorry about that.
That didn't exist in the 80s. I don't think. Well, I'm sure it did.
Fight.
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying to think
not
what
to-
the first
not
to the
UFC
but
was.
not to the
because
extent
yeah.
that it is.
I remember
yeah.
renting the first UFC on video, and it was like this bloodbath because like they didn't have like a
They didn't use
set
gloves
like,
and stuff.
yeah, there was no set MMA thing, so you'd get like some local Taekwondo instructor up against like some giant dude, and he just brutalize him. There were like no rules. It's like the Kumite.
Now it's all formalized.
Yeah,
and
now
it's
everybody
not-
has the same art. It's less exciting.
Right. Now, in terms of, was this an easy pitch to the Keys? I know the Keys is very open to new ideas and to artists and stuff like that, but it's something a little bit different for them.
Yeah, I was afraid to ask. I was pondering with the idea and I put it off for so long. I talked to Katie Evans and I was like, who do I talk to? I don't know what to do. And so she's like, no, Steve is really cool. Steve Werner does
Yes.
the shows for there. So I wrote out this huge paragraph and told him every detail that I had, including down to the drink special, which by the way is Ecto Cooler. from Ghostbusters.
That's
That
awesome.
makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
it's $5. It's amazing. I had it there like 2 years ago, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. But he was really open to it. He was like, "I'll get back to you," but it was pretty quickly, and it was awesome. And then, you know, it was an accidental overbooking of the bagpipers, but we're gonna get through that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That those
Yeah,
two,
yeah, we didn't know about that. He didn't know about it either. I guess it was just like an accident, but they're
Okay.
gonna be ending early, and like they know about us, and I heard they're really cool.
Right.
So we'll see.
In my brain, they're just people who got confused about which 80s it is. They're 1880s or
Exactly.
1780s.
Exactly.
They just got confused and showed up at the wrong time period.
I can't believe it's halfway to St. Patty's Day.
yeah.
But is it really though? Shouldn't that be like September 17th?
Yeah, it should probably be a little bit later. But,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, back off.
Yeah, let them have their show. Jesus.
Yeah, because I think next week the Opera House in Jim Thorpe is doing like a halfway to St. Patrick's Day with
This
the
is a
Filming
new
Saints.
thing.
Yeah, that's well, you know, I
can't
think
even
I think
take
everybody
one
got it
St.
from the
Patrick's
Dropkick
Day.
Murphys 'cause
Yeah.
they've done stuff like that before. You know, the tour is
Yeah.
you know
And I've been to
everything
halfway
involving
to
St.
Halloween
Patrick's Day.
parties,
No,
too.
I know. I'm familiar with the halfway too. I just can't believe it's already halfway to.
Right.
Jesus.
I know. It feels like we just got through that whole.
It just snowed 2 feet like yesterday.
Right.
You know?
And then we'll be getting 2 feet next week.
Yeah.
The best activity per parade day is a scanner party, but they're not too fun for halfway. For a scanner party is when you sit around and listen to the police scanner on parade day.
Yeah, that sounds real fun.
there you
It's
go.
awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
At
I like to
age-
do that
at
on
my age
normal
now,
nights.
yeah.
Yeah, like you don't have to deal with the crowds. You could just listen to the chaos. It's awesome.
I love watching the fight videos after parade day, like up on Taylor Hill,
Oh,
usually
yeah.
Scranton. They get crazy. They have horses. People throwing things at the horses.
So that,
Nuts.
that fight this past, like 6 months ago,
Yeah.
where that guy got just like out of nowhere, just
Yeah,
socked,
just got pummeled. Yeah.
and then the guy ran away.
Yeah, he
I'm not
completely.
laughing.
Yeah.
This guy. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Yeah.
So it's about what I would expect. Like literally, the first time I ever went to parade day, the first person I saw came up to me and just wanted to fight me. Like literally, I hadn't had a drink yet. I hadn't done anything. I literally just had a camera on me, and that made him fucking mad. He was so pissed that I had this camera. I wasn't taking his picture. He was just fucking like he was just looking for somebody.
Oh my god.
Yeah. His like girlfriend was like, "I'm so sorry," and she's like pulling him away, and it was just.
I feel
it
like
was a
that
mess.
St. Patrick's Day is the official holiday of apologetic girlfriends.
I've had one.
Or boyfriends. I've seen plenty
Yeah,
of
that's
girls
true.
toasted too.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things get conceived on St. Patrick's Day. At least 3.
In public.
Yeah, that
Oh.
too.
You don't get to see that on the scanner. You just hear about
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
And
You have
usually
to
they don't make
you
it
have
that
to
far.
imagine it. It's kind of like old timey radio. You know,
Yeah.
you had to imagine the
Yeah,
scenarios they
I
were
like
describing.
That.
You know.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite the same, but you know, if you were of that era, you enjoyed it.
It's nice though, because you're not. It's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you can choose to drown it out
Let's
if
go
you
back
want.
to that. Those times.
Yes.
No TV.
Get rid of this new media, this fucking podcasting shit.
Well, I mean, podcasts are mostly, technically, kind of more like that
Yes,
than
they're
anything
more
else.
like that. We,
Korea takes off our grid.
Yeah, I mean it's what
This
radio
will-
used to be like.
Yeah, that's true.
Talk shows and stuff. Yeah.
We are kind of going back. I always thought that was weird too, like the texting thing. You know, that took off, and it
Yeah.
was like, aren't we going backwards? Like we have
Oh,
you know
yeah.
video chatting, and we have cell phones. You can get somebody at any time. You don't have to worry if they're home or not, or in the office. You can just pick up the phone and talk to them. And now we're texting each other. Aren't we going? Like, isn't that kind of backwards?
I
don't know,
like
it just
texting
seems-
because it's a little less intrusive. Like, I could text somebody,
people are like,
and
"Can I
if they're,
call
like,
you?"
cooking or having sex, they can check it when it's convenient.
That's true. That's
I
true.
like that. I like that I'm not menacing them.
The downside, though, is that you're getting these, you know, conversations that could have been taken care of in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, like somebody's
Yes.
like texting you a novel, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Things get
like, you could've just gone.
misconstrued.
That's
Right.
the problem, especially between
Tones
relationships.
of voices.
Yeah.
relationships. That's cool. What do you mean? I mean, it's cool. Like it's not. There's no.
What do you mean I'm funny? Like a clown?
Yeah.
It's fine. No, is it fine?
We're just going
Yeah.
full Pesci here.
Yeah. Is there anything about the 80s, like, obviously don't want to give anything away, but is there anything about the 80s that, you're going to talk about or that sticks out to you as something in particular that you enjoyed about the 80s?
I mean, I've always been a fan of the music. I was born in '88, so my
So
bed
you were
sheets
just
were
on
Care
the end.
Bears.
Yeah.
That's it. So, but I've always, I mean, my mother grew up listening to like Underground 8, like Blasters, Squeeze, like they had cassette tapes that I remember them having like a box full of cassette tapes, all from the 80s, and that's all they would listen to, and I just like grew up with that, and I love it. I've always loved it, and it just seemed like it just kind of, like, when I thought of the theme shows, it just kind of was like the first, like, well, duh. I mean, we get the audience to dress up. Who doesn't love teasing? I mean, the higher the hair, the closer to God, obviously. So,
Sure.
I mean, who doesn't want that?
True.
And, like, I mean, and then dancing, and I just thought it was, I mean, so that's it for me, though.
That's
And
right.
I thought Elliott would love it, obviously. I'm sure
Yes.
he's, like, way more stoked.
Yes. I get to look like I listen to as much Bauhaus as I actually do.
See, I pretend to wear my Tron shirt because of the subject that we're talking about.
You're not
But in
pretending.
reality,
You were definitely wearing the,
I
the
I
shirt.
wear this all the time.
You're not
So it's-
pretending to
yeah,
wear it.
it's-
You're definitely wearing it.
My,
not fake
my
wear.
intention.
Okay.
My intention
All right.
is that
Because you're wearing it. It's
Oh
not,
yeah, I'm
you're not,
definitely
you're not
wearing it.
pretending.
Yeah, but I think I was doomed to be a nerd because of the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first hoodie or coat that I ever had was a Return of the Jedi
Okay.
because I was born in '83, so it made sense that I would grow up in that. My dad was a nerd too, so I mean,
Okay.
it's a gene thing as well. But I mean, you grow up in the era of Masters of the Universe and Star Wars and stuff like that.
I did
it's
too.
kind of
and I'm-
inevitable.
Yeah, I'm not. No. I'm 82, so I hate Star Wars. I fucking hate Star Wars.
The first movie I saw was Star Wars in the theater.
Ever?
Ever.
God damn it.
I'm not going to tell you during which run, because that would date me horribly.
We had a thing on the old version of this show where we had a Star Wars episode. So we're definitely going to do one now.
I won't come.
Just to piss you
I
off.
will not be here.
And then we're going to talk about you.
That's fine.
All right. As long as you're cool with that.
That'll be the most productive part of the episode.
Yeah.
Me. Not Star Wars and shit like that.
You should just come in halfway through and be like, fuck this shit, and start overturning stuff.
Yeah, I'll start breaking shit.
Do a pretty good Yoda impersonation.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Fuck you, I will. Take it all. Vaseline you will not have.
Of course you go that route for it.
You know,
You're
Yoda
like,
in prison.
yeah.
See, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
So we'll have some comedians on.
All right.
We'll make fun of it.
That's fine.
I always thought it would be cool to go to a karaoke night with a friend and do a version of Paradise by the Dashboard Light with my friends doing the male vocal part in the style of William Shatner and me doing the female vocal part in the style of Yoda. Just to see how it would go.
I could see that going nothing but well.
Definitely. All the serious
Please run that
karaoke people
immediately.
will be bummed.
Yo, finish your beer. We have one more beer to do. We got questions to ask, and we got
Yep.
wrapping up to do.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Bedtime.
Wrap it
All right,
before you tap it.
we have to get to this. So, because I am a child of the '80s, and I think one of the best ways to get to know people is through their taste in movies, and so I wanted people to get to know you guys better. I looked up the 100 most popular '80s movies on Internet Movie Database. Now, these were by user vote. So some of them I don't necessarily agree with or should be on the list, or I think they're maybe a little too high or whatever. So I didn't go in order or anything. But I just took a bunch of movies and kind of paired them by either subject or genre, or, in the case of The End, I just kind of ran out of things to pair, so I just put two movies that completely don't belong together. And so you guys got to pick one or the other, which one you like better or whatever. And you can feel free to say what you want about them or not, or we can just keep going to the next one. But we have a whole bunch of them. So let's. First up is Back to the Future or Ghostbusters. Which one?
Back to the Future.
I think I'm going to go Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
If we're just basing it on one film, if we're going
Right.
with sequels,
Yeah,
it
no,
would be
this
Back
is
to the Future.
one-
One
I've only
film.
seen
one film.
Ghostbusters once.
Ghostbusters.
So, and I've seen Back to the Future like 80 times. So I feel like I'm just connected to it
Right.
more.
So that one's got to be it. See, I think I would go Ghostbusters too, but in terms of sequels, Ghostbusters did not have
No.
a great history with that, but Back to the Future did. So kind of balances out too. Blade Runner or The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Not for me.
They both have Harrison Ford.
I've never watched them, so I'm out.
I got to go with Empire, and it's really tough to.
Yeah.
But I got to go with Empire.
Okay. All right. Raiders of the Lost Ark or Temple of Doom.
Raiders, not even a hard
Same.
choice.
Same, I agree.
Last Crusade would be a
Is
hard
this
choice.
like the Harrison Ford?
Indiana Jones.
Yes, the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but
films.
like, are you have a hard on for Harrison Ford?
Oh no, we've
Yeah.
Why
we've
wouldn't you be?
plenty ones
He's
outside
Harrison
of
Ford.
that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's actually here today. Just
It's just covered.
Have you ever watched him on talk shows? It's awesome. He's so weird.
He's usually a complete dick.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he just woke up and he's so mad to be
comes
there.
out, fuck all you.
I'm contractually obligated to be here. And he just
I love
fucking
it.
and he bashes whatever movie he's in.
Yeah.
He like does the worst job of promoting it possible. So you're in the new Star Wars. I fucking hate Star Wars. Great. Okay.
It's awesome.
A Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
Nightmare on Elm Street, if we're just talking the first ones. Easy.
Yep.
I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies, and I still never have watched that since I've been allowed.
Oh come on, Freddy's on your poster for this event. For God's
I
sake.
didn't do it. And one time I had an event, a Halloween event, and I had a big thing of Freddy too. But no, I've never. I don't like horror movies at all. I've seen like a handful.
All right, so just with your having
I've
not
never
seen
The
any of
Shining.
them, we're going to get to The Shining. Jason or Freddy?
If I
Yeah, which
because
one?
I've never seen either.
Yeah,
Which one would I want to come get me?
sure.
Well, Freddy, because I feel like I can like psychologically battle him.
Oh, okay.
Also,
The other
if
guy
we're
has a
talking
chainsaw,
the
right?
first one,
Well, he kind of uses.
I don't know. I've never
He
seen
uses
him.
dream powers, so he can.
Jason
kinda,
does too.
no,
No.
just Freddy.
No, just Freddy.
I'm gonna go
He'll
nerd
run
though.
away once he gets in.
We're
this
talking the
bitch.
first Friday the 13th, which
Yes.
means it's not Jason coming for you.
That's true.
That is
Technically, it's not.
Who's coming?
Pamela.
I I mean,
Okay.
spoilers.
I don't want
ruin
to
it for me.
spoil the
Spoilers,
movie for
but-
you.
I'm gonna think I'm gonna have. I was just saying I never saw Halloween. Was that the 80s or no?
Halloween 70, 80.
Okay.
70s.
I want to watch all those old school. I feel like I can handle it now.
Yeah.
And if I can't, like,
They're not even that
I have a
scary,
therapist.
really.
Yeah, it was kind of. A lot of them are kind of
Thriller.
of the time.
Yeah.
okay,
know, like,
that's what I'm
no.
saying.
Like, I mean, Jaws, I think, had a different impact when it came out than watching Jaws now.
I can handle Jaws. Christine used to make me cry. Like that's the one movie my parents showed me. Christine, Cujo, I would cry, couldn't take it.
All right.
I watched Cujo the other night though. It was cool. That guy wasn't scary.
Yeah. So, all right, let's fantasy movies. Labyrinth or Never-Ending Story?
Labyrinth, only because it's Jim Henson and I love him.
Okay.
Labyrinth, it has Bowie.
Yeah, I am that.
Good choice.
There's who I'd go gay for. Bowie and
Bowie.
Labyrinth.
Ah, nice. That's a solid choice.
Nice package.
Yeah.
Those pants. They're impressive pants.
Poltergeist or American Werewolf in London?
American Werewolf in London.
I agree. Yeah.
I was hoping you guys would pick that one. I would have assumed anyway. Full Metal Jacket or Platoon?
Full Metal Jacket.
Nope.
Nope.
You gotta watch the first 10 minutes of Full Metal Jacket.
I will.
It's the meanest, most brutal roast of human beings ever.
Scarface or The Untouchables?
Ooh. This is tougher than
I forget The Untouchables, but I've watched it. So, I don't want to answer it. I feel like The Untouchables is better.
Well,
Scarface was kind of like generic. Like, I feel like I knew it before I even watched it, but maybe it's just because
But the thing with Scarface being generic, it's only generic because so many movies have ripped it off.
Okay,
right,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
Okay.
Yeah, putting it
See,
in
I'm old.
context.
I'm young. Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. I think I'd go with Scarface though.
Okay.
I do love the Untouchables though, mainly Sean Connery in the Untouchables.
Yeah, I can't really answer that question fairly. So this is what you're learning about me. I know shit.
That you know shit
And
about
I-
the 80s.
I
True.
didn't have any
I'm a fraud.
friends.
I'm a fraud.
What?
I just do this so my
Come to
mother
my
would come
80s
see
party.
me.
I don't know shit about it.
it.
Please come.
So her jokes are not going to be about movies. We can establish that right now. For the most part.
What in the 80s is worth talking about other than movies and music?
The style, fashion was ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
That's like asking for jokes.
That's true.
Let's see. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or The Lost Boys?
The Lost Boys.
I feel like this is controversial. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 by far.
All right. The Shining or Hellraiser?
The Shining. That's really not that hard.
It's on my list. I want to see it so bad.
That's
Kubrick's a genius. You're putting Kubrick up against just about anyone.
Yeah,
They're
that's
probably not gonna.
that's
finish
true.
as well.
Shining was the first
like a
movie that
loser.
like legitimately like freaked me out. Like it's fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch it.
it's so good.
I'll have a nightmare. I never even finished the
What
Exorcist.
did you ever watch the documentary about it? Room 237.
Yes.
About all the people with their theories about it.
Yes.
It's so good.
It's so ridiculous. Some of these people, I don't even know how they why they put them on there. It's just like some random dude. Like you have no credentials or anything
Yeah.
to be on here. You just came up with a fucking bizarre theory that makes no sense.
Like Ange, there are people out there who think The Shining is Kubrick admitting he faked the moon landing.
Wait, isn't it about like twins that like?
There are
murder
twins
on
in
the-
it,
I
but
don't even know what it's about.
It's not really about them.
That's a great
88.
description.
It's about a guy slowly losing his mind in a giant hotel, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't need to watch that.
It's awesome.
Rocky IV or Raging Bull?
Oh God, I've never seen Raging Bull, but Rocky IV is literally my favorite with all the. That's one of the Russians, right?
Yeah.
It's literally my favorite out of all. I will break you. It's my favorite.
Okay, Raging Bull is a better
Brown.
film,
Right.
but Rocky IV I love more.
Way more entertaining.
Yes.
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 Rocky IV is the best Rocky.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High or Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Ooh.
I feel like it's
Ferris.
Ferris.
Ferris. That's fair. This is Spinal Tap or Spaceballs?
I don't think I've ever seen Spaceballs.
Two very different kinds of
Yeah.
comedy there.
I love Spinal Tap though.
I might go
Let's go with that.
Spaceballs.
Okay.
I kind of worship at the Temple of Mel Brooks. So.
Oh, it's Mel Brooks.
Yes.
Who's in it?
Mel Brooks,
Rick Moranis.
yeah, Rick
Oh,
Moranis
really?
is Dark
Oh, I'll
Helmet.
look that up later.
Yeah, it's
It's
fun.
awesome.
You don't even have to enjoy.
I love Rick
It's
Moranis.
a Star Wars parody, but you don't even have to know
Oh,
anything
really?
about Star Wars to enjoy it.
Okay.
Airplane or Police Academy?
Airplane.
Yeah, Airplane.
Heathers or Beetlejuice?
I'm going to go controversial. Heathers. I love Heathers. I watched Heathers the other night, actually.
I don't know.
Too difficult.
That's a tie.
I could quote Heathers front to back, I think, if you need me to remind you.
Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles?
Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
I feel like that
I
one's
love
a bit
Ducky.
easier. Yeah.
If you put Some Kind of Wonderful up against it, though, I might go Some Kind of Wonderful. Underrated. It probably
Yeah.
didn't even make the list.
It did not. I actually left a bunch out at the end because I'm just like, these movies don't even belong on here. Roadhouse or Dirty Dancing?
All I know about Roadhouse is that Patrick Swayze kicks people. I've only seen Dirty Dancing, so I'll take one for the girls. Sorry. I should take one for the lesbians, right? But I can't.
No.
I'll take one for the guys. Roadhouse.
Yeah, the lesbians.
Yes.
The most quoted line from Roadhouse, I can make this a regular Saturday night thing.
This is just making me feel like
It's just making me feel old, Ange.
I'm so glad that I
oh
came
yeah, I'm
up with
still
this.
young. Yes.
Because there's nothing I enjoy more than making our guests feel like shit. Pet Cemetery or The Evil Dead?
Evil Dead, no question.
Evil movies of the 80s? Nope.
I feel like Pet Sematary hasn't aged well. I watched it recently.
Wait,
It wasn't
which one
super
is the
into it.
one with that girl with the red hair, the creepy sister?
Oh, Zelda, that's Pet Sematary.
Okay, I did watch Pet Sematary. Yeah, only because of that nurse.
So you're going with that?
I mean, I'm not going with anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're non.
I'm out of that question.
They Live or RoboCop?
They Live. I love them both dearly, but They Live has Roddy Piper and it's directed by John Carpenter.
I just bought RoboCop for $2 at the used video store, so I'll tell you in a couple of days.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I went and bought a bunch of 80 movies that I've never seen before. So
you
random
gotta
ones.
marathon them
Yeah,
all.
like I've seen some
You
of
only
them.
have,
Yeah,
like,
so
3
I'm like
days.
going. No,
Yeah.
RoboCop I didn't watch since like I've watched the other ones already, but yeah, RoboCop didn't get there. Maybe it will.
The Outsiders or Breakfast Club?
No.
Outsiders.
No. You can't do that.
Oh, I can
It's
definitely
so
do that.
messed up.
It's my fucking show.
The
I can do
Breakfast
it if
Club.
I
It's the
want.
Breakfast Club.
All right.
Stay Gold, do it for Pony Boy.
Nice.
Only but the Outsiders drags at the end.
It does.
Daly
but-
burns that house down. You're like, come on.
I like the
Johnny's
long
hiding out.
version, like the 3-hour version. Like I'm in on that one.
Gremlins
As
or
I
the
stepped
Goonies?
outside.
Ooh, this one's actually tough.
Goonies.
I think Gremlins is a better film, but I love the Goonies more.
Yeah. I didn't like Gremlins too much.
I love them both.
National Lampoon's Vacation or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
God.
Vacation.
Ah,
The Christmas
different.
one's hysterical, I think. It's a, I don't know.
We didn't throw
Christmas.
European in there though.
Oh no, I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mention that exists.
No.
E.T. or Short Circuit?
Short Circuit, fuck E.T.
Never seen Short Circuit. What is it about?
A robot
Sounds like-
that gets struck by lightning and gains a soul.
Oh, really? See, I just pictured people sticking their like fingers in sockets.
Let me put it this way though, E.T., when you've spent half your life having people go, Elliott, you'll say fuck E.T. too.
Ah, yes. I didn't even think of that. That's traumatizing.
It is. That's why nobody uses my real first name, is because of that movie. And I'm okay with that because I like Elliott way better. But yeah, no one uses my first name because when E.T. came out, I looked like that kid.
See, these are the things that we learn about people by playing this game. So it's not all bad. Die Hard or First Blood?
If we're just going First Blood, First Blood.
Yeah, just the first movies. Coming to America or Trading Places?
Trading Places.
I can tell you lean towards the comedies. You
Coming
seem
to
to really
America.
like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Princess Bride or Legend?
Princess Bride.
I've never seen Legend, and I love Princess Bride.
Yeah, I would go Princess
I
Bride.
trust
anyway.
Elliot too.
I mean, that
Like
was
the coolest thing about Legend is Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim
Right.
Curry's in it?
He is in it.
And he's
But Tom Cruise is in it too. So
See, I don't like watching that stuff. I don't like Tom Cruise either. I don't like devil stuff.
speaking of Tom Cruise, Top Gun or Karate Kid?
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
My wife does not like Karate Kid.
What?
Has never watched it. Has no desire to. When I put it on this past weekend because it was like a marathon, like
Yeah.
back to back, 1, 2, 3. She has no desire. We're getting divorced.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Surprise.
That's what happens.
Weird Science or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Weird Science.
Weird Science.
Uh,
It's got the Hughes.
we got to rapid fire these last couple because we got to wrap up. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade or Star Wars Return of the Jedi?
Last Crusade.
I don't know, man.
Little Mermaid or Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Roger
you just
Rabbit.
Said, you just said before the show that you
Yeah, Little Mermaid though. For real.
Yeah,
I hate
You haven't
Disney,
seen
though.
Roger Rabbit yet, though.
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I
It's the
only saw the
best.
part where the guy was taking his tie and like shoving it in the thing. He's like grabbing him by his tie.
Highlander or Conan the Barbarian?
Highlander.
I only seen Conan, the Barbarian.
It's a
Thanks,
solid
Dad.
choice either way.
Yeah, Conan's good too, but
Children of the Corn, or since it was on the list for some reason, Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal motherfucking Holocaust.
Yeah, I've never seen either, but I love cannibals. I'm not a cannibal.
Cannibal Holocaust is a
Disclosure.
great movie to watch once. It's like a test of endurance,
I'm-
and everybody should put themselves through it.
I'm ready
Yes.
for the challenge.
Blues Brothers or Planes, Trains, and
Blues
Automobiles?
Brothers.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Steve
Not what I
Martin.
would have expected. Okay. Stand By Me or Dead Poet Society?
Stand By Me. It's the only movie that's ever gotten how 12-year-old boys talk right.
Ah, good point. Dune or Blue Velvet?
I don't know.
Blue Velvet. Daddy wants to fuck.
Willow or Excalibur?
I don't know.
Excalibur.
I haven't seen Willow in years.
I know,
Oh
right?
my
I
God.
didn't think about
I
it.
forgot about that
Willow
movie.
Smith.
Excalibur, but you have to
I
clear
want
some
my
room on
hair
your
back.
schedule to watch that thing.
We're almost at the end. The Fly or the Elephant Man?
The Elephant Man.
This is tough. The Fly.
Was
maybe.
the Elephant Man the 80s?
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
1986.
With Cher, right? No.
No, you're thinking of Mask.
Okay, I'm thinking about something
The
completely
Elephant
Yeah,
Man
different.
is a David Lynch movie.
But is it still about a guy
This is
with
about Jeff
elephantitis?
Goldblum transforming into a fly.
That's The Fly, and it's incredible.
Okay. But wait, what is Elephant Man about? Is it still about someone who's
It's about-
disformed?
Yes, it
Michael
is.
Jackson bought the real Elephant Man's bones.
It's Anthony Hopkins.
Alright, I still pick deformity.
Okay. Well,
I
they're
guess
both.
the Fly is
Yeah, there's
deformity.
both kind of deformity.
That's kind of why I put them together.
Alright.
Some of these they're tenuous, but they're connected in some form. Great Outdoors or Parenthood? So John Candy or Steve Martin is
John
really
King.
what comes down.
Ooh, I
This
don't
is
know.
this is weird because I'm rebelling against Steve Martin because I don't think Parenthood is
It's-
that like his top shelf work. I'm going with the Great Outdoors.
That's why I was
I think
surprised
I've
to see it
seen
on the
Parenthood.
list. To be honest.
I think Parenthood's really popular amongst like dads.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why I feel like I've seen it. I've seen almost every Steve Martin movie, but I don't.
Yeah.
Some of them I don't know the titles. That sounds horrible. Don't. I'm not a comedian.
All right, Red Dawn or Invaders from Mars, and that was actually on there again.
I like Toby Hooper's Invaders from Mars, but I'm going Red Dawn.
All right.
Wolverines.
Yeah.
Ow.
Red Dawn is Patrick Swayze fighting the communist invaders.
I lost all the fries.
And then these make no sense together. Teen Wolf or Risky Business?
Teen,
Teen
Wolf.
Wolf.
There's that dude whipping his dick out at the end.
Footloose or Batman?
Oh, which the Batman with? What do you call it?
Tim
Like
Burton.
the original
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
This almost seems like it would be easy, but it's harder. Than
I
it
just
seems.
love
I'm going
Footloose so
Batman, though.
much, but I'm gonna pick Batman.
Okay. Tango and Cash or Clue?
I don't
Clue.
know Tango and Cash. Yeah, I like Clue.
Definitely go with Clue. Amadeus or Back to the Future Part 2?
Ooh, Back to the Future. No.
Amadeus. I'm like,
Yeah, I agree with Elliot.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure better have made this list because, god damn it, that is one of the best movies ever.
Shockingly, it didn't.
Bullshit.
Pee-wee's
Yeah.
Big Adventure or The Shining.
That one's actually super,
Oh, wow.
super fucking tough.
Don't make me choose.
Yeah, like Pee-wee is a big influence not just on my comedy but my general life.
And my masturbation.
Sometimes I think about wearing those shoes. Yeah.
That is a great place to wrap up. If you have anything else we want to throw
No,
in
well, we
there.
did have the bells. I don't know.
The
how to say
Quinannan Falls IPL,
it. Yeah,
which is a little bit different.
it's good.
If you've ever had an IPL before, I think this is a good representation of that style.
I like the IPLs.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and for participating. I see a lot of people had their own choices, which I'm going to have to go through later. I think that's interesting to learn about people and what movies they like the most and everything. So please come to the 80s comedy party and comedy and dance party.
Comment and we'll pick someone to win tickets.
Is this Saturday. Anybody wants to win tickets? Now is the time. If you want to comment, let us know. Who wants to go for free? You will get free tickets this weekend.
Just 2, not 3, 2.
That's it. Yes, just 2.
Not 3.
That's the classic NEPA.
I might scroll back and judge you based on your movie choices. Warning.
Yes. Yes.
I probably will judge you based on your movie choices in general, scrolling back, but it might have a bearing on whether you win, if I have anything to say about it.
A good portion of the comments right now are from people who are already participating in the show. Some of the comedians.
Oh, gee, there's a surprise.
So I will pick one right after the show is over. I will go through the comments and send you a message if you have one, and we'll put that on Facebook. So, Jeff Hernandez, how about 4 tickets? No, you get 2. Jeff,
Calm
You're
down,
coming?
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, you get 2. You get 2 tickets. Don't be a cheap ass. Buy the other 2. Support these wonderful people. Very, very funny people.
I understand family's important,
Hi,
but
Jeff.
leave grandma at home.
Yes, exactly. She might not
Grandma.
enjoy. I mean, she lived through the '80s, but she might not enjoy this.
Grandma was tired through the 80s.
Yeah, she might have some weird flashbacks.
Yeah, she
and
doesn't wanna
stuff.
go back
It's like,
there.
yeah, you know, she had,
Mom
she had
wants
a,
to go
She
back
had a rough
there.
patch in the '80s. We don't want to bring that up. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next week when we're going to talk about the Electric City Music Conference. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.